In the end, we might be experiencing a bullish accumulation process within the wedge's end. They come, validate it, step back, and break it. Here, what smart money is saying is, I acknowledge you as a structure, and then I puncture you. The price comes aggressively, compresses it here, establishes a micro-crick, and then forcefully pierces it. The point is, if we observe Bitcoin losing this structure, then we could expect a short-term preference for seeking a bearish correction. In this video, we're going to analyze the short, medium, and long-term outlook for crypto. Right now, you're looking at the Bitcoin chart on its daily time frame. Remember, in previous videos, we recalibrated the structure of the breakout origin. Bitcoin, in the immediate term, reached a significant level. If we zoom in, you'll see how the Bitcoin price impacted that referenced level, the origin of the breakout. Remember how we had been evaluating the structure for quite some time. On one hand, we envisioned a bearish impulse, considering it as AW, AY, and expected a Z. A ZAT, to be honest, we anticipated up to this level, where we assessed that the price would turn around. However, as you can see, the price, that Z, took quite some time and went to revisit the breakout origin that we later identified. Now, zooming in on the last video, we were assessing how the price aggressively plunged onto the structure. We paid close attention to the strong bearish impulse's reaction, considering everything to the right as a corrective pattern. We emphasized monitoring this structure, continuing with the Cardano chart. We were also evaluating that if Cardano lost a specific level against Bitcoin, we would likely see a similar pattern in its structure. This would imply a bearish trend for both Bitcoin and the crypto market in the short and immediate term. And if in the future we manage to break this structure, then we can expect a bearish movement for cryptocurrencies in the short term, not only for Cardano, but also for Bitcoin. As you've just observed, the crypto market has provided ample opportunities for bearish re-entries. After the breakout, the price came into contact with the trend line, providing an ideal situation for a short position. Now, let's update our thoughts on the crypto market. One thing is clear, the price, after forming a Z and working on its own structure, it has reached the trend line encompassing this bullish process. We shouldn't forget that we've been noting significant selling pressure throughout this range. The question here is clear, does this strong impulse represent the liquidation of all these shorts, or has smart money just opened the gate to catch longs and initiate a true global downward movement? To answer this question, we'll rely on a technical analysis combined with other cryptocurrencies. So stay tuned. We'll be back with Bitcoin shortly. I find it very relevant that you observe the Ethereum chart on its daily time frame. We've modified the relevant structure of Ethereum, in this case its creek. This way, we're seeing that the Ethereum price has surgically targeted its relevant level, much like Bitcoin did with its breakout origin. Considering this, you must understand that, with the old creek passing through these levels, Ethereum would undoubtedly have experienced a bullish trap, and there would be high probabilities of a downward move sooner rather than later. But this concept gaining strength, if true, could be just a result of charting not adapted to circumstantial changes. What I mean is, the market evolves and provides new information, and we must incorporate that into our analysis. That's why we've discarded this creek and updated it to a level that aligns perfectly with Bitcoin's cross-analysis. Moving to the 1-hour time frame and zooming in on Ethereum, observe what we're seeing, a distribution process. The price aggressively comes here, compresses it, forms a micro-creek, and breaks it with strong aggression. Frankly, we consider this a very relevant event, but remember this concept. To see Ethereum in a macro bull run, the kind everyone in the crypto ecosystem wants to see, it's essential to break this price level, the creek, at $21.37. The concept I want you to grasp is that Ethereum has come knocking on the bull run's door to see if the gatekeeper will open it or not. Right now, Ethereum is patiently waiting at the door. As you'll see next, it's not just Ethereum doing this. Many cryptocurrencies in the crypto ecosystem are doing the same. Now tell me, do you think Ethereum and the crypto ecosystem will be able to break out in the short term, or are we at an extreme to go down? Leave your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy the videos we create at Crypto Insight, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to be notified of future posts. Now let's focus on Polkadot on its daily time frame. We've been analyzing this large bearish wedge and have seen how it was inevitable, almost mandatory to come and break it with a strong bullish impulse. A bullish impulse that has sought its relevant level, its creek. Ultimately, we might be experiencing a bullish accumulation process within the wedge's end. Remember that financial markets are fractals, and these observations are constant in financial markets. For more advanced students, they'll have noticed that Polkadot has also knocked on the door of its creek, its relevant level at $5.78. Polkadot aims to initiate a bull run in its quotation, but the doorman at the disco has said, "Hey, you're a bit dizzy to enter this party. Take a walk, get some fresh air, and then try again." That's what the disco's doorman told Polkadot. Now it's seeing if the dizziness wears off. It will try again later. Now, the 4-hour time frame of Polkadot, we see that the wedge has been broken, surgically validated at its breakout origin. Now, we find ourselves here. All of this, as you saw in the 1-hour chart, is a strong impulse. Normal that they want to react to relevant structures. We might experience a corrective pattern before truly breaking the disco door. So, I don't know if you understand, but both Polkadot and Ethereum are attempting to break their relevant structures to seek a strong bullish move in their quotations. And we know that breaking it outright is always going to be difficult. It's normal to see these reactions. Hence, in the video we published last Monday, we prioritized looking for shorts in the crypto market. If you look at the Solana chart on its daily time frame, on one hand we observe an accumulation process that broke with great force and propelled the Solana price upwards. But most importantly, Solana is not afraid of success and has broken a very relevant structural creek. They validate it, step aside, and break it. Here, smart money is saying, "I recognize you as a structure, and then I break you." Unlike Ethereum and Polkadot, for example, Solana isn't knocking on the disco's door. It simply approached, the VIP pass opened the door, and now it's dancing on the dance floor. It's one of those cryptocurrencies showing a significant structural exception compared to others. Taking the context into account, let's make a small move. We'll locate the creek, which is well positioned, and place it at this point of interest. Look, this catches my attention. Let's zoom in a bit, and now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Here we observe the following. Initially, it was broken but recovered. It came here and validated it. Now it seems to be seeking that level again. Solana has undoubtedly broken its creek, which undoubtedly came from much lower. But we're trying to compare what Solana is doing, seemingly already dancing at the party. Another way to look at it is this. We defined this structure, thinking that if the price is capable of breaking and confirming it, what we must unquestionably do is prioritize the search for longs. As you know, the crypto market is in a bullish process. No matter how much you saw us in the last video looking for those shorts at Crypto Insight, we know what we're doing. We never forget that the underlying trend is bullish. That's why we know when to capture bearish short-term movements without ever losing sight of our overall direction and without forgetting our macro map. Speaking of maps, in the last video, we were assessing Cardano's 1-hour time frame trend line. We noticed compression and there were indications of a potential temporary downturn for Cardano. We identified a very interesting cluster in this approximate area, which would suggest that if this level were lost, we could strongly bet on a continued bearish trend for Cardano. However, we know where it could go to our structure. Why? Because the macro path is bullish. How are you seeing it now? Here, we've identified a very important cluster. If this trend line ends up being pierced, then we might think, why not, of a continuation to the downside. However, always keeping the macro perspective in mind. As you've just seen, we know exactly where the north is and we are very aware of what we are doing, how far we should go and how we should approach it. That's the most important thing. That said, we can now remove all these lines from the chart and I'll show you the macro structure of Cardano, which is worth recalling. We find ourselves in a macro bearish channel that was recently breached and of course, we were going to bet on, which is what we did on Monday, validating the structure. We basically speculated on looking for this contact in Cardano. And Cardano provided us with this information in a very visible way that we could rely on to envision the next movements of the overall crypto market. Now, let me tell you what I think will happen in the short and medium term for crypto. But before that, leave your opinion in the comments. And if you like the videos we make at Crypto Insight, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to be notified of future posts. In this 1-hour time frame for Bitcoin, I believe it is the cryptocurrency that will serve as a proxy for the entire market. And who better than the Queen, of course? Look at how the price has gone to seek that macro breakout origin structure, which seems to be compressing. This invites us to think that if we see Bitcoin losing this structure, then we could expect a certain preference for a short-term correction. But beware, I'm going to leave Bitcoin for last because Ethereum is telling us that it has already compressed it. It has already pierced its creek. It has already made a strong bearish impulse. Basically, we will monitor it as follows. Look, we'll have this trend line, and then we'll assess whether Ethereum decides to work on a correction before coming and seeking seeking a small bearish replica. Here, we could already be looking for some kind of structure for Ethereum, something like this. Our proxy, of course, will be to see Ethereum break this level. As for Polkadot in its 1 hour time frame, we've also experienced the compression against its relevant level. It came, pierced it, validated the breakout origin, and now it seems to be continuing downwards. Well, we can monitor Polkadot's structure as follows. It seems that the price level of $5.87 is important for Polkadot. In other words, it's a defensive zone. In the case of being breached, there would be no doubt that the price could go to lower levels. Ultimately, I think we have a supply line where these sellers will want to protect their position. If in the future we see Polkadot capable of reaching those levels, it could be an ideal reaction point, and we'll see if it wants to continue working on that structure. And we will monitor these structures. Well, with Solana, things are quite clear. It seems that the buying force is taking great advantage of this cryptocurrency. Just look at the trap at the defensive zone and the immense bullish attraction that this crypto has. In the end, buying now would be suicide, but if Solana comes and breaks with a lot of force, wait for a pullback, a structural confirmation, an ideal zone, some kind of entry to the upside. I would honestly only work Solana in this way. We'll see in the future, perhaps it wants to go down and we'll never look for that long idea. That doesn't matter. Only if the hypothesis is executed, then we can start looking for that operation. That's what Solana tells us, unlike the rest of the cryptos, as you can see. And well, with Cardano, if you're working on this supply line, something similar. Here we will see how they do it, but they may come here and maybe they are not ready to break, which could be interesting even. Wait for the price to return. Why not create a structural trap, recover and try to break that structure to seek an upward movement? I think there is room to play in Cardano. Here we have a distribution, the smart money. They are defending their position, interesting events that can still be exploited, albeit at the expense of seeing when we will break that structure to the upside. It could be on the first try, the second try, or maybe the third, who knows? Like we have a crystal ball, but that's the idea for Cardano. But as I mentioned a moment ago, the cryptocurrency that will be the proxy for the entire crypto market is undoubtedly Bitcoin. This structure is very, very relevant. Basically, if we see that the price in this correction we might be experiencing now is not able to surpass this breakout origin and then proceeds to forcefully break this structure, what we need to do is wait for validation. Once confirmed, what Bitcoin would be telling us for the entire crypto ecosystem is that the disco door is still not open. It's going to take a bit more time before they open it in the future, and for the short-medium term, we will then experience a corrective process. We'll see how far before we can look up. I hope you found this technical analysis interesting. If that's the case, let me know in the comments. Also, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for YouTube to notify you of future posts. I hope you have a very good trading, and until next time.